Hello, this is Sunil Sunder Raj with the Ordell Sports Roundup. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with Jack Corrigan, River Dell Golden Hawks, varsity football sophomore, defensive back and wide receiver. Also played JV as well. Jack, thank you so much again for taking some time out to speak with me. We before we came on the air, just shooting the breeze, just talking about said sports and said with the Ordell Sports Roundup. Thank you again for taking some time out.
Of course, of course. It's my pleasure, and thank you so much for having me. It's crazy. I mean, I can't believe I'm on here finally. I see. Like, where's my stuff? But
Yeah,
yeah, it's awesome. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
No problem. Okay, Jack. It said you got to experience both JV, varsity. It said this year's varsity team had a great season. I know it did not end on a good note, especially with the playoff loss to Sparta. But tell me about your experience this summer or this season. I know that you have still 2 more years left, and there's plenty to is time to move up the ladder in terms of your progress on the team. But just describe it with this group, especially 16 seniors on this year's team.
Yeah, I mean, how can I put into words? Like, the season's just been like a big growing point, I would say, because ever since like freshman year, football didn't seem like was in my future.
Mhm.
Um, I wasn't doing great or whatever, a lot of different factors. And I actually small injured at the end of the season. So like, I didn't even know if I was coming back. And then this season, like, especially over the summer and then coming into this season was a huge growing point. Became a lot better football player, and seeing like, just knowing the seniors and like, just like talking to them a lot and just seeing them at practice, like, and just seeing what they're doing, it was a big inspiration for me to continue doing this. That's what this year was to me, really. It wasn't even about like me playing, JV, but like obviously that was part of it. But
Mhm.
this year was a huge growing year for me, and it's what kept me with the program and what's going to continue pushing me to do it till obviously I'm out of high school.
Yeah, no, it's terrific. Hey, talking about before we came on about the COVID-19 pandemic, so much different than the previous year. To talk about just preparing for for this season and just the training and putting those pads on, being around the coaches and of course the rest of the team as well, Jack.
The preparation was tough. Especially with the restrictions, like the mask, obviously, it's all part of the process. It didn't make it that much different than I think we would have been without it. But it was just, it was a constant grind, especially like the summer was a lot of work. And then a lot of the work put in helping the seniors, like, being what they call like the cheese, just going up against the varsity in
Yeah.
practice. That was a lot of the preparation. And a lot, it was a lot of the preparation was just, even if it looked like it was for me, for my growth, it was for the team's growth as well. So that's like a lot of the, what it was.
Yeah. Hey, talk about that first game. I know that was an adventure. I think it's Parsippany Hills with the bus trip
Oh,
to
yeah.
Parsippany. You guys got stuck, I think, in traffic, and
Yeah.
but that was to kick off the season. 400th win in program history.
Yeah.
I mean, to be a part of that group in that moment. I mean, that had to be just awesome for you, Jack.
Oh yeah. It was so cool. Like I personally, I did not know. But I saw like everyone was just talking about it. I'm like, wait, what's going on? We're taking a picture. It's the 400th win. I'm like, like, this is a surprise to me. And it was,
Yeah.
but like just knowing that you're part of that, like, and you could tell people like, oh, you hear about Riverdale's 400th win? Oh yeah, I was a part of that.
Yeah.
Like that, like, to me, that's what the coolest part was. I just thought that was really cool.
And you know what? To have a 3-game winning streak and the fact that this year's team swept all 3 trophy games.
Yeah.
Again, just another milestone, for this not only this year's team but for this program in general, Jack.
Yeah, yeah, because we're a big family. We everything it was a win for the varsities, a win for the freshmen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was. I mean, I'm just really proud of them. they're great guys, and they really did work very hard for this.
You talked about learning from the seniors, but how about the juniors on this team? I mean, we saw a quarterback in Jake Sconce just have a phenomenal year, 30
Yeah.
touchdown passes, passing for almost 3,000 yards. Uh, to see the juniors like even Max Ferungian, I think Andrew Spano. I
Yeah.
mean, there is so much talent. I said again, we talk about the present, but the future just sets up so well. I mean, just about retooling every year for this program.
Yeah, because like I constantly think about it. Like, I'm gonna be a junior next year. Like, I'm be playing with these guys. Like, it's not just all about the guys playing right now, but like, and it's crazy that Scons is a junior. Like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I can't. It always runs through my mind. Like I'm be playing with these guys, and like, and I keep watching them on the field. Like, I'm learning from them too, obviously, and they work very hard as well.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's just like that's what it is. It's
yeah. Talk about especially I wanted to ask you about that first home game, and that was unbelievable. 11
yeah,
a.m. kickoff against Westwood. It
yeah,
said winning the Cates Trophy, but a hot day in the 80s. But always the first home game of a season, a regular season is just electric feeling. Talk about what that felt like. Coming out with the rest of the team there.
yeah. Especially just because like a lot of last season was just kind of like it just I don't remember a lot of it. So like
Yeah,
and especially also because two straight away games and we finally get to be home and we finally get to do the banner and whatever,
yeah,
but we have the band. It was like you said, it was electric. Like
yeah.
that's the best way to put it. Yeah, it was so cool and like it's just an experience. Like and you're zoned in and like you're watching everything go down and it's um and everyone's and hoarding like around the trophy,
Yeah,
hoisting it up. Um, it was it was loud, it was hot, it was so much fun. It
yeah,
was so cool. It was something I'll never forget. I mean, it was just and being a freshman it's different because you have like those little jobs on the side, but you get to be
yeah.
as a sophomore, you get to like watch the game, you see what's happening, you stay involved, and you always hear the coaches screaming, "Stay in the game." Uh, uh, so yeah, I was doing that,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's an experience.
yeah.
It's an experience.
I'm wondering, it just popped into my head, your perception, like, you're standing there on the sidelines and you're witnessing, game action and what these guys are going through. I mean, you hear those punishing hits and just the overall feeling of a football game. Like, I'm wondering, like, just you can take, people, said behind the scenes, what just those moments are like on the sidelines with the rest of the team. I'm just curious about that.
You're like it's crazy because you're like you're all like jumping around like you see like us on the sidelines when they're running down the field for a touchdown, like we're following with them and we're
Yeah,
like we're going crazy. It's just it's something different. It's something else. It's its own
yeah,
beast.
yeah,
There's I don't know how to put it. It's
yeah,
just it's an experience and it's something in its own. It's
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's
yeah.
just
No,
it's so great and you're with all your friends and it's like you're all feeling the same thing. It's the same kind of rush.
yeah.
Um yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, it's an experience.
Hey, you mentioned a great point is that I think a Friday night game at Riverdale High School in North Jersey is one of the best environments. I mean, to see like stands full, people like standing, outside of the track area, behind the fence. You have the student section, you have the parents in the stands, the cheerleaders, the band as well that does, did a great, just an unbelievable job, I said at halftime with their performances. I'm just wondering that overall, I mean, what that, experience was like for you, especially this season.
Yeah, like you said, like all the components that come
Yeah.
together, you have the fans, you have the band, you have the team, you know, it's just it's all it all just comes together so nicely and it's just
Yeah.
it's this feeling and it's this rush and it's just it's crazy and
Yeah.
it's it's all an experience. It's even from the sidelines, it's just, and you see and everyone's watching, and everyone's, they're on the edge of their seats, in the big plays, and they're all watching you.
Yeah.
That's the big part, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You mentioned before how you guys, helped of course, the varsity team, prepare for a game day. But I'm wondering during the week, like school time, and then of course then on a Friday, said morning and afternoon, the build up towards kickoff, and then once after school ends, then said you're in that almost 2.5 hour whatever window, 2 hour window, again in the locker room, so getting ready, to take the field. Just what, those moments were like for you, said this past season, Jack.
It was like no other. It was it was just like you're with it's you're with a bunch of people who are feeling the same thing, and you're all, you know, you're all prepared, you're all suited up, you're all together, you know, you're all hyping each other up. It's just like it's just a different kind of feeling of like of happiness. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just it's not like anything else. It's like I said again, it's a rush. It's a rush, and
Yeah.
it's just it's just a bunch of emotions. It's crazy.
I found it so fascinating because for first couple of home games, you guys were coming, outside of the perimeter of the end zone, said onto the field. And then um, the last couple of weeks, said it was coming down that walkway, that pathway, said, and then um, carrying then eventually that green flag. I'm wondering what that, what those times were like, for you as well, Jack.
Um, the banner is just like it's just a buildup.
Yeah.
You cannot wait to go through it, break it, and have everyone cheering at the everyone standing up. The band is as loud as can be. The flag, I thought the flag was actually a very cool touch. Uh, uh, and just seeing it wave, and it's just like you see, like you always, like when you're growing up, you see like other teams doing that, in like college or whatever. Like they have the flag, they make these huge entrances. It's
Yeah.
just like it's a dream come true. It's so
Yeah.
cool. It's like it's a huge experience. It's and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Hey, you and the rest of the underclassmen got to soak in senior night, and that was very emotional. Said for those 16 guys. I'm wondering, while you guys are there or listening in, what was going through your mind, Jack?
Oh, we were just like supporting them,
Yeah.
like it's about them. It's all a team, but like that night it was their time to shine, and it was just like it was a special moment for them to kind of take it all in one last time. And it was just like, you have to remember you're here for them. You're
Yeah.
helping them get better, whatever, yeah, like that's all I was thinking, honestly.
Mhm. You guys ended on a roll. Said with the regular season, put up I think close to 100 points, combined, and then won that Battle of Midland Ave trophy, won a
Mhm.
playoff game, as said against Vernon. I'm wondering because it's an entirely different vibe and environment in playoff, as said football. I'm wondering, for you, said to be a part of that, said with these guys, and of course, just a amazing performance, in that game against Vernon. But just talk about that.
um Yeah, I mean, just to be part of like just be part of something like outside of school, because that's like what takes up most of the day.
Yeah.
You go into something, you're putting your work into something that matters, and like you're getting better at. You're working with these guys for like months on end, experiencing all these things with them, playing with them, and knowing you'll have some more time to do it at their level as well. I don't know how else to describe it. It's an
Yeah.
experience. It's crazy when you think about it, really. And just think back on it, like in the moment you don't think about it too much, but it's really just something else. Like you see all these things, like you said, like the Bird Bowl,
Hmm.
the Midland Ave, the playoff game against Vernon. It's all just experience, 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 and I I, I wouldn't want it any other way. It's just awesome.
It's great. Hey, don't want to forget about coaching staff. I think one of the best coaching staffs, all three levels. But I mean, you talk about on the freshman level and then JV, like my assistant coach Mike Aliano, and then on the JV level he had Samuel Lobby, Steve Iafredi, John Book. I mean, but head coach DJ Nymphius. I mean, you
Yeah.
talk about, I said one of the greatest coaches, said here in North Jersey football, and who is put his stamp on the River Dell, said Golden Hawks high school, said football program. Uh, won his 150th, career game. I mean, what 15 straight seasons, I think it was, reaching the sectional, semifinals. Uh, don't want to forget about defensive coordinator Eric Morgan, uh, defensive line coach Al Henian. It said Dan Morris, defensive backs and special teams. Just talk about this coaching staff.
They're great. There's so much fun to work with, but obviously, at times, obviously, they may seem, annoying, but they're always doing what's in your best interest. And they always tell us that, which is so great, because they're reestablishing, what you might have, you thought poorly of them, but they work you so hard,
Mhm.
and it's really it. That's my dog. Sorry. Uh, um, but they really do work you to the bone.
Yeah.
They are so great. They're great people. They're great guys. But yeah, I mean they work you so unbelievably hard, and it's so great knowing that they're just doing what's best for you, and it's so great.
Yeah. No, I think, teaching the fundamentals uh, and it's just not on the field, but off the field as well. Talking to other players, a lot of these coaches are teachers as well. They're
Yep.
in, the high school, so they're able to communicate with them, at lunchtime, and it definitely is beneficial, as said, for the players. Hey, I don't want to forget, it's not easy being a student athlete. I wanted to transition to that. I'm wondering, for you personally, how you've been able to balance that out, Jack.
Again, it's a lot, but you get used to it. It's like it's time management. You
Yeah,
just, you just gotta get your what done.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you just you work hard, and you do what you have to do.
yeah.
I mean, that's about it. It's it's a transition, obviously, from off the field and on the field
Hmm.
and whatever. But if you get your work done, you're smart, you do what you're supposed to do. Um, being a student athlete is something, but like it's not impossible. And but I do think that a lot of the seniors, especially, they're putting in a lot of work. More than me. I don't know how they balance it sometimes,
Hmm.
uh, but me myself, I've been able to do it for quite a while. So you just gotta get used to it. It's kind of like anything. It's just, again, you just gotta get your stuff done.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, it's a grind. I mean, between the practices and you know watching film and you know and of course the game itself, but then they said post recovery and they I think people truly don't appreciate so what even at the high school level what you guys go through, even like for the freshman and JV. I mean, some of these guys, freshman JV were playing twice a week and practicing 6 days a week, and then you talk about summertime 6 a.m. practices. There's so much commitment that goes into it, the off-season weightlifting program as well. I think people don't realize that, look, it's 24/7, sometimes 365. I mean, for the varsity team, you may end the season November, early December, but a couple weeks after that, you're right back into the thick of it, preparing for the next season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of like behind the screen work, like,
Yeah.
or behind the current work. It's, like you said, there's a lot that goes into it that makes this team very good. It's a lot of training during the off season, a couple times a week, early in the morning, and then you know once the season rolls around, it's a lot of after school work. You go straight to practice, film, and then you're watching film at home, back on it next day, and it's
Yeah.
almost every day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just, especially in season, it's a lot of work, but it's always manageable, of course.
Yeah. I mean, those grueling 2-a-days in the summer when it's like 90 degrees and you got the pads on. I mean, those are, I said definitely the rigors that, I said you have to go through in order to be successful. Hey, talk about Riverdale High School. Support from, your fellow students, athletic director Dennis Nelson, Principal Brian Pepe, rest of the administration, just what they've meant to you, along this journey.
Oh, they're always talking to us, like, before games, sometimes, during practice, they'll they'll always pop in, they'll always tell us, always, tell us what we need to do, what we need, where we need to be, whatever, but they're always telling us how much they love athletics, how much they support us. They're always reminding us of that. They're always, and obviously all the emails they send, they all care. It's so great. And it's a big community.
Yeah.
The school is a big community, and it's so great to have all these people that they care, they're always doing what's best for you. But yeah, they're all great people. Yeah.
That's a great word. That's such a key word, community. And I'm, so intrigued by that because you have, as you know, it's a regional high school. You got two towns, Oriedale and River Edge, coming together. I'm just wondering, just talk about that. There's it's such an interesting dynamic, um, and I'm wondering, what makes said now I mean Riverdale High School is so special, but just talk about that where two towns have to merge together, and you got kids from both towns here in the high school.
And honestly, at this point, I forget there were two towns. It feels like
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, like every day
yeah,
we're seeing the same people. I've been going to school with all of them
yeah,
together for my fourth year now. So it's
mm,
just like you see these kids every day, and
yeah,
you kind of forget what life was like without them.
yeah,
It's just it's become part of, they become, it's all together now. Like, and we definitely couldn't have done it without River Edge, because do live in Oradell.
hmm,
Um, yeah, we couldn't have done it with just one town.
yeah.
We needed us to come together, and it's so great. You don't know what you do without these guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. Talking about if you obviously freshman JV, I wanted to just pivot quickly back to football. Especially with the success, immense success. I mean, undefeated freshman team this year, but I'm wondering playing on those levels, what those times were for you as well, Jack.
The playing time was great. Getting my experience like on the field. Learning the game a lot more, like football in its own.
Hmm.
Um, Playing with the freshmen helped out a lot, and I became good friends with a lot of them, obviously, because of it.
Hmm.
I worked with them like one on one a lot. Um, yeah, I mean, it was again, it's a lot of it's just getting experience on the field, learning what football, how football works, and like a lot of like the the game plan or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it was very helpful. It was it helped me do a lot of growing, and as a player and a person, and how things work on the field, because I really didn't get a lot of playing time even as a freshman.
Hmm.
So this was just it was just a lot of experience.
Yeah.
It was just that's what it's helping me for the future, I think.
I know they listed you as wide receiver, defensive back. I'm wondering of those positions, is there one you prefer? Just, what makes, both of those positions, let's say unique as well.
I see a lot more time on defense, so I
Okay.
tend to tell people that I do like playing defense more.
Hmm.
Um, but I've actually I want to add, I transitioned to running back and linebacker.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. For that info. Yeah. That's great.
Yes. So um, I do get reps of running back. I do like it when I do like it more when I do get the reps, but
Yeah.
since I am on defense a lot more, just going around, just running around and hitting people, trying to find the football,
Yeah.
it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
It's 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 so much fun. It's just you work with all the guys. It's just I think I personally like defense a little bit more.
Yeah. You talk about, of course, football, I mean, being a brotherhood, and, these relationships will carry on, way past, said, when you're finished up here. I'm wondering about that. Of course, talking to the seniors, I mean, off the field, being together and hanging out and just building up that chemistry. I'm just wondering, from your, said vantage point as well about that, about the brotherhood of football.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you've been working with these guys nonstop for months,
Yeah.
months on end,
Yeah.
straight, and like you're all working on the same thing. You all have the same goal.
Yeah.
You know, you all have similar mindsets, and you become friends with these guys. Like they're you. I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've got even more people to meet. I have another 2 classes when I at least when I'll be a senior, there'll be 2 more classes of
Yeah.
people to meet. But yeah, I mean we're always, joking outside of school and even in school when I see them, I pass them in the halls. It's so nice. And it's just, these people now. And it's like you wouldn't recognize them really if you didn't have football. Um you meet like you know a lot more about them. And it's just like
Yeah.
you make friends. It's great. It's just great.
It's great. Okay, your mom Heather, provides some background info saying that you've been playing tackle football since you were in first grade. I'm wondering any other sports you played growing up, but for you, you probably might have answered this question before, Jack. But for you, what makes the game of football so special to play?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've been doing football for a long time. I did basketball for quite a while. I did lacrosse for a couple of years. I did wrestling. I came back to wrestling. I did soccer for like a year. I did a little swimming, this and that.
Mhm.
Um, I did baseball as well for a little while. Um, but football is different, and it's the only sport I really actually like stuck with for the
Mhm.
longest time and been with for the longest time. Um, it's different. It's
Yeah.
just different. For the longest time, it wasn't really my thing, and I was, all about basketball and whatever. But once I got to the high school level and I started seeing what my opportunities were and people telling me I have a lot of potential and like giving me all this hope, which was very helpful and very supportive. It was very thankful for that. Um, just knowing what I could do on the field, it was it really pushed me to the next level. It really wanted me to push myself and get better
Mhm.
at this at this, that's what football is different.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me.
Yeah, I'm wondering, growing up in Oradell, Doug Parcells Athletic Complex, 'cause, that's where all the junior football is, Pee
Yep.
Wee. I'm wondering, I've asked many players that maybe some of the best moments, of playing football spent there at DPAC. I'm wondering, I said if you got to play there as well, and just what those moments
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
to you.
Yeah, all those junior football moments, again, it's a different experience, but it's an experience
Yeah.
in its own. And obviously, I went there with my friends as well, just like on a recreational time, and just threw the football around as well.
Hmm.
Always working at it. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't really recall any great moments
Yeah.
offhand, but yeah, it was just an experience in its own. And it's all of it together is getting you ready for what you're supposed to do and get ready for an experience at the high school
Yeah.
level. So yeah, it was all very helpful. It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my parents live close to the complex, so seeing all the cars lined up on Ridgewood Ave, and you have the PA announcer, and you have the crowd, the
Yep.
parents, the friends there, and it almost has that small town, that small feel. Eventually, of course, as you said, you're going to work your way up to the high school level, but to get that experience when you're younger in junior football and be able to, as said. Transition to high school. That's wonderful. Hey, I just
Yeah.
have a couple more. Jack, as you said, your mom was did a great job of providing a lot of background info. You have many talents, Jack.
Yeah. Yep.
An actor, appearing in commercials, movies, TV series. You do snow removal and you mow lawns. where do you find the time to do this? I guess you got that time management down, Pat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was wow. She really threw a lot in there. She threw it
Yeah.
all.
I didn't want
Um,
to skip over that.
yeah. Um, well, I just started doing a lot of the lawn care and snow removal stuff very recently.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I have people who help me as well, and
Mhm.
they get me to the place I need to be. So I have to thank them for that as well. Couldn't have been just me, of
Yeah.
course. Even though I obviously have all these things I've done, but yeah, I mean, I don't I honestly I couldn't tell you straight away how I found the time for it, but I
Yeah.
did obviously. I'm still doing acting. I'm still doing the lawn care, snow
Mhm.
removal. Uh, I don't. I honestly, I don't. It's honestly just part of me. If
Mhm.
I be honest, like it's what my mom strived for me to be. It's what she was. She's a very hard worker. I get a lot of that kind of I don't know what to call it, but I get
Yeah.
a lot of that oomph
Yeah.
in me from her. Obviously, my dad too, but
Mhm.
she's kind of something else. But she's what she set me up with all these opportunities, and she just again, my dad too. I can't. I'm not discrediting him,
Mhm.
but with her, she's just all over the place. Like she works very hard. Um, that's not. She's the reason for it.
Mhm.
She found the time for me. I was like, I can't do all this.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you're gonna. She she threw it
Yeah.
at me. I did it, and I've continued to do it, and it's worked out very well for me. And it's obviously something great to mention to people, and let them know what I do. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's a good segue because I wanted to ask you about family. I mean, what they've meant to your parents, if you have any siblings. Just in terms of family, because that's so important, especially when you're in school and with athletics as well. Jack.
yeah. I mean, family's everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I have a younger sister.
Okay,
She's in seventh grade.
okay.
Um, she wasn't really big into athletics. She's coming around to it a little bit.
Hmm.
I think she's doing volleyball. And yeah, I mean, they're so supportive because they're always telling me, you look great out there on the field. I'm like, like you just hear like all the time, like they're always talking to you about your stuff, and
Hmm.
it's just, it's all on you, and it's like, but it's so great because they're so supportive. Um, it's not just football itself and my friends, but it's obviously my family too. Like they're obviously always striving for me to get better, even if I'm not in the mood to get better. Um,
Hmm.
they're always pushing me forward. They're always picking me up. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah.
I had another football question for you. Wearing that number 14 jersey, putting that Golden Hawks jersey on, that helmet. I'm
Yeah.
wondering what that represents to you, Jack.
They always tell us like there's a long line of history. You're representing something. You're representing yourself, you're representing your family, you're representing the team, you're representing Riverdale, you're representing the history of Riverdale. Um, I mean, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Like you're representing, and those colors in its own has huge, like it stands out to people. I'm like, oh, gold, black, Riverdale.
Yeah.
Like people know immediately. Like it's recognizable.
Yeah.
It's just it's awesome. I don't, and it's you're standing for somebody. You're representing something else, something bigger. That's what it means to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering, you said growing up in Oradell, what makes this town so special to live in for you, Jack?
It's a beautiful town. Great schools. Great kids. Great families. It's a sense of community. Everyone's together. We're a small town, but we're a strong town.
Mhm.
Um, you know, we do everything together, and it's just, if you know about something, everyone knows about
Yeah.
something. It's like, you know everybody basically.
Yeah.
You know, you- it's we're all together in this, and That's what it is.
It's great. Hey, well, the last two, when it comes to watching the NFL Sunday on Sundays, any players that you pay close attention to in particular, sort of try to take away tidbits or favorite team as well, Jack.
I mean, to be honest, I have been watching a lot of NFL just because I'm a Giants fan, so
Okay.
already where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing too great,
Yeah.
but obviously Saquon being a
Yeah.
running back,
Yeah.
is a big inspiration. You know, that guy is just unbelievable. If he were to stay healthy, of course. But I guess that's someone I would pay attention to.
Okay.
Big Giants fan. My dad is also a Giants fan,
Okay.
as his dad. Goes down the line a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, they're not doing too well, so I'm not constantly keeping up with what's going on. But
Hmm.
I'll check I check what's going on, but I don't always watch what's going on. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're in just an absolutely terrific position. I mean, I think you're the perfect role model uh, for younger kids and athletes. What's your advice and message, to those kids out there, said who want to succeed in football or in sports in general? And yeah.
Um, Again, and I always contemplate it all the time, but you need to stick with it and you have to work hard. You're not going to get the result you get what you put in. You're not going to get the result you want unless you work hard. And that's it. That's really it. You need to just put your head down and work. And you need to stay consistent. You need to get your stuff done. And it's a very broad message and a lot of people say it, but
Yeah.
that's what a lot of it is. And I don't know.
Yeah.
And most importantly, and this was even hard for me growing up as an athlete, you need to stick with it. You need to stick with it. You can't give up.
Yeah. Okay, Jack, you got the last word here. For fellow students, teachers, administration, Riverdale High School, family, friends.
Oh,
Hey,
put it on me.
I
Uh,
I want to give you give you the floor.
no,
yes,
no,
it's well deserved.
of course. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone out there, of course, at this point in time, have a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Um, yeah, I don't know. Uh, you know, be safe. You know, stay healthy. The basic stuff. Uh, Work hard, of course, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Jack, can't thank you enough for the opportunity. Just an incredible honor and privilege. You have such a, I said, wonderful background. It's so inspirational. That's the word I was going to use, and I think a lot of people will take that away. So many things. So, wishing you continued success, and again, looking forward to seeing what you do. Next year on the River Dell Golden Hawks varsity football team.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. I can't thank you enough for taking the time and sitting down with me. As I said, to talk with someone and put out my opinion, my voice. They're asking me. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me. It's very cool. It's a very cool experience. And thank you.
Thank you.